Hello viewer. So today we'll be looking at JavaScript timing functions. We'll be looking at how to use them and when to use them. This video is a foundation for the next video I'll be releasing on how to create a stopwatch using JavaScript. So we're going to be using these timing functions in that video. So I want to explain to you understanding the concept of JavaScript timing function. So let's get to business. So when we talk about JavaScript timing functions, they are the functions that are essential for creating and executing code at a specific interval. So there are some times we need to execute some functions, we need to execute some block of code at a particular time at some certain interval or when some things occur. So these JavaScript timing functions allow us to be able to perform all these operations, and there are some key concepts we need to understand. There are a lot of them, but these four I'm going to explain them in details and I'm going to take examples on them. So number one, we have the set interval. It allows us to run a block of code or a function repeatedly at a specific interval. So now you can see this is my HTML code. I created a span with I am a boy. I gave it a class text, I have the change and I have the claim. So now we're going to use the set interval timing function to keep changing this I am a boy to another random text repeatedly at a specific interval. And note, when you're using the JavaScript timing function, you work with milliseconds. So let's take example. So now let's call all this in our JavaScript. So let's text equals to document.query selector. Since this is a class, so it has a class of text. So let's button, that is a change button. Let's change button equals to document.query selector dot change, then the clear button. Let's clear button equals to document.query selector dot clear. So here it is. I'll be able to call all this now in my JavaScript. I have linked my JavaScript here. So now let's create a function for updating this I am a boy to any random text. So let's create a function. Let's call it update. So what are we updating? Now let's quickly do a brief check. So if text dot inner HTML is equals to I am a boy, text dot inner HTML should be equals to I changed to a girl, else text dot inner HTML should be equals to I am a boy. So let's check it out. So I want this operation now. When I click on change, this operation should be performed. So I need to add an event listener to this change button. So let me call the change button dot add event listener. When I click on it, now what I want it to perform, the function, I'm going to write it here. So I want it to update. So I'm calling this function when we click on this change button. So let's check it out. So it says I changed to a boy, I changed to a girl, I am a boy, I changed to a girl, I am a boy. So now I want it to keep on with the set interval. Now that is this first JavaScript timing function. We can keep on repeating this block of code continuously at a specified duration. So how do we do that? So in our JS, we're going to call the set interval timing function. I'm going to say set interval. Now which function do we want to work on, or which function are we working on? We're working on the updates. Then how often do we want the code to be repeated, that is the interval. So let's say 1000, and we should note that 1 seconds is equals to 1000 milliseconds. When you are using JavaScript timing function, we represent our time in milliseconds. So if we are saying 1000, this means 1 second. If we are saying 2000, it means 2 seconds, because 1000 milliseconds is equals to 1 second. So when we say 1000 now, that means it will keep on updating this function every 1 second. So let's check it out. When I click on change, you see it keep on updating it every 1 seconds, and I'm not clicking on it, I'm not touching it. So that is the set interval. So in this set interval, we can use it in various form. I told that this video is a foundation for my next video on how to create a stopwatch. So let's look at the clear interval. Now you can see set interval, clear interval. The clear interval is used to stop the set interval operation. So as we can see here, the code is running now. If I click on clear, I want the function to stop function, like I want the code to stop executing. So in my JavaScript, now to be able to do that, I will need to declare something called ID. You can give it any random variable, but for consistency, I call it ID. So this is the clear button. So let me add an event listener. Clear button dot add event listener. So when you click it, should perform this operation. So we want to clear what we want to now. Here now, we're not just going to say set interval. Now we have to update it with our ID. So we're going to say ID should be equals to set interval. Why do we need this ID? There are sometimes in our JavaScript code we have so many set interval. We may have multiple set interval. So when we are calling the clear function, the clear interval, JavaScript will be able to know the particular set interval we are clearing. That's why we need to create a variable and be storing our set interval there. So now I can say clear interval, then I call the JavaScript for the ID. I'm clearing the ID, and my ID is equals to this. So let's check it out. Now it's running every 1 second. Now when I click on clear, it's going to stop because we have cleared the interval using the clear interval function. Now I click on change, it's going to start running every 1 second. If I increase this timing also, let's increase to 3 seconds, it's going to be changing every 3 seconds. You see it's delayed. After 3 seconds it changed. The next 3 seconds is going to change, but we're working with 1 second. So that's how to use JavaScript set interval and clear interval. So now let us look at set timeout in JavaScript. So now the set timeout is used to execute a particular block of code or a function after a particular delay. So there are sometimes we want to execute some code or function not immediately. Let's want to execute it after some seconds. So this set timeout allows us to be able to do that. So now let's use the set timeout. So let's say ID is equals to set timeout. Set timeout update every 1 second. It should change. It should take effect after 1 second, or let's change it to 3 seconds. So we want this to take effect after 3 seconds. When I click on change, it's going to take effect after 3 seconds, not immediately. See, the text changed. It says I changed to a gear. So this is how to use set timeout function. Now there's sometimes also we need to clear the timeout function. So now we said we must store it in an ID. We can just call the clear timeout. And clear the ID. So now when I click on change, now I click on clear, you are going to notice it's not going to change. Nothing is going to happen because I just cleared it. It's not going to perform any operation. So this basically this is the basic on JavaScript timing function. And in my next video on how to create a stopwatch using JavaScript, we are going to dive deep into JavaScript timing function. Please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell. Thank you.